Welcome back to the Stuff or Whatever podcast. B. Quan Chi O'Brien here with a very special podcast. But before getting into that, I always like to say the best way to support the channel, the podcast, all that is to like, comment, and subscribe. Whether it be here on YouTube, you can follow on Twitter for other fun tweets and updates, and also follow on Twitch as I also stream gaming regularly. And those stream pods do get uploaded here on YouTube as well. So you can also check the gaming videos on the channel as well as the podcast. So it's been a while. I had a few weeks off because I took some vacation time after the holidays and stuff like that. Didn't really do too much with the channel. But yeah, kind of getting back in the swing of things. Although it's like one of those things that I don't feel like I have much of an audience or being relevant or being noticed online. But that can be good or bad, you know. One of those things I kind of have the pipe dream kind of if things can become more, that'd be kind of cool. Or just to have a little extra. But for the main part, it's a hobby and yeah, kind of fun just to kind of talk and get my ideas out there and all that. And I also kind of like to just make kind of shit post kind of videos. I have a few of those on the channel. And some of those are just like stuff like I just want this to exist, so I'll just do it. And I think I might get a habit of doing more videos besides just podcast or gaming. I've been kind of on the fence about. I probably will eventually do like video essays about like stuff I like or like observations in terms of like uh, video games or TV shows or stuff like that. Not quite sure how involved I'm going to or how I'm definitely going to get into that because I don't have the best editing software. I don't have like a really good way to present it. So kind of more like a slideshow kind of thing than anything else. So it's like one of the things I'm gonna. If I was an artist or if I was a good editor or stuff like that, but it's a hobby and I can't really invest in a team or anything like that. No, maybe one day when I become internet famous. But I guess it's kind of a good thing too, because what I talk about it's kind of old news, but a scene I never really watched. I think H3H3 is Ethan Klein, I think, um, that does this podcast and whatever he does. You remember like last week hearing that he deleted, I think, two episodes or podcasts that he had that I'm not quite sure the person. I know I heard a little bit about him, Jordan Peterson. I'm sure he's like actually, I think a professor or I don't know. The only like snippets I heard, and again, I'm kind of like being a little ignorant here, but I kind of feel like it has to do like with misinformation or kind of stuff like that, like someone who just get information out there just to sell a book or something like that, or I don't know. But it's funny because kind of there was a little bit of backlash because when I was seeing that he was trending or something like that, because sometimes I see that in Twitter where it recommends like, hey, blah blah, and I check it. I guess it was a very poorly aged or a clip from his podcast saying of Ethan Klein saying on the H3H3 podcast, saying a very racist slur and a very homophobic slur together, saying how much you love to say that. Just I don't know if you just like the sound of it or whatever, but I remember seeing that clip and like, I'm kind of glad like I don't have like I don't think I really have much bad content about me or like saying stuff I shouldn't say, anything like that. Especially because with the podcast, I kind of just did it last year. I did videos before a long time ago, but I did remove all of them pretty much. Um, but yeah, and what if like there's people out there who like archives and download like every single video, no matter how small the channel is, and stuff like that, in case like videos get taken down. Because there's like some that like maybe like comedy channels like people do like skits or vlogs or whatever and all that. But yeah, just kind of thinking not being really that relevant on the internet, but sometimes I kind of do. And I did mention them. I kind of want to talk a little bit more about some of the shit posts I did on the channel because I recently did one about anti-vaxxers and COVID-19. I thought it was kind of funny. Like I didn't put too much effort, but I pretty much got like screenshots or captures of like news articles talking about how like so and so was anti-vax and then they die of COVID. So it's a compilation of that. I think it's a little less than 2 minutes. I just thought the idea was funny out there. So it's on a channel, and I'm not sure if that's going to get much attention. Honestly, it's been getting a little bit more views than my typical content, even some likes, really, but no comments or anything. That's one of those things that might get more attention. But I just thought it was funny because if you haven't seen it, you can check it out. But I put the little montage. I can say like compilation, whatever. That's what I titled the video. Anti-vax compilation, something like that. Uh, but I did it to music from Bomberman 64, and I just thought that's just a fun idea to kind of have like that kind of context over that kind of song. So it kind of like almost seems a little ambiguous in a sense. Like, is it like a really memorial? Like, because I did make it like the end to like rest in peace and thoughts and prayers. But I did put the websites, the vaccine.gov, and put that in the description. So I think people know it's more like tongue in cheek or satire, but it is going to run to people like, oh my gosh, I feel bad for these people. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like, especially like people who were like, I think one was like what is like religious people like Transvangelists or whatever, like those religious people who have like a show or something like that, and then also like other uh, talk show people, podcast things that like really that side of the spectrum. And like I think I said this before, like it's weird when you hear about COVID and the pandemic and vaccines and mask mandates and all that being political and stuff like that. But it's I don't know, I just find it like that funny in a kind of dark way. That people who are like, "Oh, I'm not doing taking this vaccine," or "I'm not wearing a mask," and then boom, die of COVID. And also another video I did, going from COVID to a meme video I did of Marge Simpson. Because I did one of Marge Simpson crumping, but I put it to the Oompa Loompa song. I just kind of randomly had that idea in my head, and like that would be funny. But I wonder if there's like a good remix of it. Like I didn't wanted something like a little bit more like you would dance to versus like because it's the original Willy Wonka movie, not the remake that Tim Burton did, but the original Oompa Loompa theme. I thought it funny. Then I just found that song on YouTube. Like this is perfect, and then I had to like edit it a little bit to loop the animation because kind of hard to find a template like that. Because some people do like silly edits, and some of them are kind of like I don't want to like say too much bad things, but some of them kind of like crappy and like whatever. But I don't know. Like sometimes I'll fall through that meme hole on YouTube where he's like compilations and stuff like that. I'm a funny one is also Simpsons related, but the one with Bart Simpson hitting the chair on Homer Simpson in the bathtub. There's some pretty fun and clever edits with that, like the Dark Souls You're Dead or other stuff too. Yeah, I did some other stupid videos. I might do. I might just have ideas. So I think that's like just have this outlet to like if I think of something that's stupid, I just want to put it out there. Then yeah, I can do that. And I'm not sure if it's creative or anything like that, but who knows if it becomes. At least if we get some more attention or like brings attention to the channel or whatever. But I don't know. I guess if people these days, if it's bored or have a funny, clever idea, you can just do it and put it online just to put it out there. It's like making art, but when you have no talent. Okay, and then something else I want to talk about this podcast is more recent. Want to talk about the Kingdom Hearts game coming to the Switch because I guess they just they did they announced the pricing, the release dates, and also put out demos of them. But the big thing about this is that the games that come into the Switch are all cloud versions, all the collections, including Kingdom Hearts 3. And I've been hearing just a lot of bad things about it, like um, the stability, the playability of these games. Because a quick rundown is if you don't know what the cloud version means, it means like you don't actually have the software or the game. It's pretty much from a server, and you just kind of like stream. It's like streaming a game, like when you stream a TV show, but you're streaming a game. And the big thing about that too is that you are required to have an internet connection. And if for some reason, like if they decide not to support the game anymore, like if the server goes down or they take it down, then boom, your game's gone. So I think those are some of the major complaints about cloud game. I'm not sure if it's like as big or because I heard cloud versions of other games too. I've been hearing some things because the big thing about Switch is that uh, having a handheld mode, and when you're in handheld, you have to use Wi-Fi, so it's kind of harder to have a Wi-Fi connection that's really really secured in terms of streaming. Who knows? Because I haven't quite tried it myself, but some things I read on Twitter, like people playing the demos, into like really awful or unplayable almost. And I'm not sure if they're just playing it off Wi-Fi, because I could, if I really wanted to, play with wired connection. I know the new Switch OLED, they have the LAN port in the dock itself, but if you have older models of the Switch, you have to get an adapter that goes from USB to LAN. Which I don't know if I'm gonna ever bother with that because I don't do too much online gaming. Like I do a little Rocket League and Fortnite and stuff like that, but I don't know. That might. Well, I can always still be on Wi-Fi when I'm playing in dock mode, but I'm not sure if it's that big of an advantage of having it wired. So I'm not sure if that would help with these cloud versions. But yeah, people say like don't buy it, and I'm not sure because it comes out in a couple weeks. I think was it February 2nd, early February. I'm not sure if that's going to be a big blow because some of the criticism too is that like why are these cloud versions, especially like people can maybe get understand why Kingdom Hearts 3 would be a cloud version, but like the other games like there's not really too much like it is. I don't see why it couldn't be like the full software or even physical copies because a lot of these collections they had on PlayStation 3. So people saying like, "Hey, don't buy it on Switch," and I think it kind of sucks for some people. Like, if Switch is the only console, but if you have a good PC, they're on an Epic Game Store. For some reason, I thought they were on Steam, but they're on Epic Games. I'm not sure if there's any like contracts with that or anything because I know a lot of Square Enix games are on Steam, like some of the big Final Fantasy titles. But I'm not sure if like the Epic Game launcher thing, whatever they had, got a special deal to have those games only available. Or even if you want to like track down, it probably won't be too pricey since it's a much older console. Since it's a PS3, you can probably find a PlayStation 3 in copies of this collection. It's mostly like the Kingdom Hearts 3 would be um, tough. Forget, I think that's for Xbox as well. I'm not sure. I don't know. I know. I just remember Kingdom Hearts being the big PlayStation game back in the day. I played one and two, but there's a lot of the spin-offs or whatever I haven't played. I'm not sure if it's even worth checking out, but I think I might just lean towards getting the PC version of them. It's kind of a shame because I know they announced that announced Sora in Kingdom Hearts, and I even tweeted like the best thing about Kingdom Hearts to coming to Switch was just to have Sora and Smash because everything else is pretty much garbage. But yeah, I'm not sure if that would just be a big disappointment or anything else, but yeah, because I remember we liking the first two games, but I think just because it took so long for the third game to come out, I kind of dipped out a big amount. But who knows? I might check this out someday. Okay, and now let's bring back the whatever report. So I like to kind of look for some weird, fun, even kind of like dark news stories on the web. Give it this little segment. So since it's been a couple weeks into the podcast, might as well just bring this back. And I don't know if there's ever like more of a demand, like if people want me to take the time to post links to these stories, or I almost get how the idea of this having them as a whole separate video, even though a much shorter one. But I kind of find it interesting to find weird news across the web. But this, we're going to start with a good story about a stranded dog being saved by a drone and a sausage. So, it happened in Hampshire, England. I was kind of skimming through the articles. Um, it seems something like the mud flats. I'm not quite sure if like that's by a river or like this. I think they said like water levels were raising and stuff like that. But we were worried about the dog getting caught up and drowning and stuff like that. And it had an idea of I think they would have like a citizen or whatever nearby in the area actually cooked up a sausage, and what they did was tie it on a string and tied it to a drone, and we're kind of using that to lure the dog to safety. A cute little dog too. It's like a what did it say? Like a Whippet Jack Russell mix, And I'm not sure if there's just like it's kind of one of the things that sucks when it comes to like saving an animal and rescuing animals, like dogs or cats or whatever. Right, would be so skittish. So like, hey, we want to get you to safety, but when someone tries to get them, they like run around or run the wrong idea. But they kind of, um, well, they did. I say kind of, but they tied a sausage to kind of lure her away, and yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm glad that worked. Oh, and the dog did have an owner, so the dog Millie was reunited with its owner, so that's even good too. So that's a really good story. Yeah, it's funny. Like even the story says he really likes food, eat almost anything. So uh, sausage was pretty much a good thing. I kind of trying to picture like how they had that set up. Like if they had a really long string, so the dog wouldn't be too scared of the drone itself. Just like I mean, it's also looking through her article and says that she's kind of timid too, and yeah, so that's a really good story. So not only did she get a nice cooked sausage, she got reunited with her owner and then drowned. So that's a good, fun story to start with. Okay, and this next story is about U.S. inmates sue after being given horse dewormer drug ivermectin without consent to treat COVID. I was kind of grumping through this article, going through it, and it takes place in Arkansas, and trying to take legal actions that they were giving ivermectin without their consent. I'm guessing without their knowledge either, because they're saying like the inmates were told, the detainees were told that the treatments consisted of vitamins, antibiotics, and steroids. And I think ivermectin is approved to be used in humans. I'm not sure if they got their horse version of it, their horse strength or dosage, but it's a dewormer. Like, I remember I used to work at a veterinary clinic, and one of the Heart Guard, the heartworm medicine, also has ivermectin to help with like roundworms. I think that's the main one it treats, but it's more like for treating intestinal parasites. I'm not sure why it like that. I think it's just like fake information, whatever. Because oh god, it felt so long ago last year when people joking talking about ivermectin, people actually thinking using that to treat COVID and all that. Uh, but yeah, I guess that happened in prison, and getting sued. So I'm not sure if that's gonna have much from it, but yeah, I guess because it's funny because it seemed like a lot of the anti-vaccine conspiracy theorists claim the benefits of ivermectin. So I know. Yeah, what if it did people like? I thought I'm not sure if it was true enough. But people saying like drinking bleach would help with COVID as well, but now, uh, stupid stuff. But it's kind of sad that like a more I don't know if you say like a more official position or somebody who's in charge of treating prisoners, like something you think they'd be more qualified and more knowledge and stuff like that. But I don't know what's going to happen, but happened in Arkansas. Okay, in this next story, I'm sure a lot of people know about that because I think it was even trending. I heard other people talk about it, but it's that Zoom meeting of the Italian Senate where it plays 30 seconds of a kind of well, I don't say kind of, but a pornographic video of Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy. Um, so I think it's just I'm not sure if it's like a fan made, but it's like pretty graphics. It's not like too. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like too explicit or too. Maybe explicit is a good word because they don't see like. I'm not sure if you even see like it's like she's taking it from behind. I'm not sure if you see like the guy's junk. Really, I've seen bits of like the little coverage talking about that. But I guess like the host of the Zoom meeting got hacked, and the hacker just played that video. And I guess I'm not sure if it's a trend, but this article is calling it as Zoom bombing, like someone like hacking, taking over of Zoom meetings just to do stuff like that, like put offensive materials or lewd or stuff like that. But yeah, a little Final Fantasy fan porn, Final Fantasy 7 fan porn guide aired in an Italian Senate meeting. So it's funny that like government officials are uh, exposed to that. So yeah, pretty funny, like weird news. But I think that was one of these stories that really got attention and notice, and people know about that. But yeah, pretty funny that that happened. And this last story, it's kind of, I would say kind of sad, but kind of like dark kind of humor in a sense. But it took place in Columbus, Ohio, where a family was traumatized because someone put the wrong woman in a casket. The thing was like the wake, when they see the open casket, like funeral or whatever. I believe the woman name is Sonia White, and I believe she's like in her 50s, so she kind of died suddenly, and that's pretty sad too, because they said that the body that they put in there was dressed in Sonia, the original attendant person's clothes, even her earrings, and they said like messed up, even her wig. And then what they had to do is like wait 2 hours for them to change the body and change all the clothes and earrings and stuff like that on the right body. But at least they had the body, because imagine like if they didn't have the body, like what is this person and stuff like that. That would have been a lot worse. But I wonder how often that really happens. I would say probably not, but because I don't, with COVID and the pandemic, I'm wondering if like funeral homes are getting a lot busier. It'd be kind of interesting to know or see if funerals have like rise in business in a sense, for kind of a dark way to put it. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that they. I can't imagine being the family like going to see like you deceased mother or sister, and a completely different person. And I guess they said like this funeral home, Marlon Gary Funeral Home. Uh, they didn't respond to at least news article. The news team ABC6, they didn't return the phone call to get their side. Uh, but the owner, I think the owner of the funeral home, like a decade ago, they had a mix up with baby's remains, and now this. So maybe it doesn't happen too often, but I don't know. It almost feels like something you see like in a sitcom or a cartoon and stuff like that. Like, oh, it's a funeral, and then also you need closure to see the body, stuff like that, and it's a completely different person. So yeah, I can definitely understand being really upset about that, but crazy that that happened. And that will do it for the whatever reports. Any feedback in terms of like if you want me to do this more regularly, or I don't know. I'm not sure if it's worth the effort to have them as own videos just so they can kind of get their own spotlight in a sense. But I feel like kind of doing that kind of helps pad out the podcast, because I don't do too long of a podcast or too short, um, especially since it's just little me. I know maybe that's something also I was thinking. I'm not sure if that's going to change. 'Cause I can't really think of a way to really do like a co-host or anything like that. Like maybe like a Discord call, or I don't know. It's something I'm always open to, because that's one thing reservation I had about doing a podcast is like I mean, this would be mean, just boring and stuff like that. But kind of have someone to play off of would be kind of fun to have. But who knows? Okay, this one last thing I wanted to talk about. It's kind of a conspiracy I came up with regarding YouTube's and kids' videos. Because this was kind of inspired by. I feel like I'm gonna catch myself saying that. That's been kind of one of my like habits or stuff like that. When I say kind of, or when they're like it is versus like maybe or whatever. But I've been saying kind of a lot when it like not kind of, it is. But anyways, it's inspired by a recent JonTron video. Although I think it was last month, because I did take 2 weeks off the podcast and stuff. Basically, he did a video about the most disliked videos on YouTube. It's kind of interesting too, because I know YouTube got rid of like public dislikes, but I think it's like he like used a plugin so you can still kind of see dislikes. And I think there's like articles and archives or stuff like that. Like I'm sure if, like Wikipedia, like YouTubepedia, Wikipedia's or something like that, that have like a list of the most disliked videos. What I was thinking about, because some of the videos that got the most dislikes was the Baby Shark video. And that's where my conspiracy comes from, because the Baby Shark video has like, I'm not sure how much dislikes. Let me look that up real quick if I can. Okay, I think I might have found something like on an Insider website, like one of this list. but I guess I'm not sure if this was last reported, but it did have 3.8 million dislikes, and the percentage was like at this time. That must have been older because I did see an article like saying that it's one of the most viewed videos, like almost 10 billion, and this article said it was 3.5 billion. So yeah, but it had 3.8 million dislikes. And so the ratio of likes dislikes versus like is 27.5%. So there's a lot more likes. So this is where my conspiracy comes in. Is that maybe like Baby Shark and maybe those other videos too, like the what is the Johnny Johnny Yes Papa one. Um, but I wonder if like companies just like invest a whole ton of money to get likes. You know those websites that you can like spend money and have likes or subscribers or buy subscribers, buy likes on different platforms, whether it be on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, stuff like that. But you have websites where you can buy views, you can buy likes and stuff like that. Because I'm missing that video. It has a shit ton of likes, even though it's like one of the most disliked videos. Like I think videos that were more disliked above that one. There was an infamous like the YouTube Rewind, the 2018 when I think that one got the most criticized one, but that's like one of the most disliked videos, especially percentage wise. Um, Other ones were like the Jake Paul Everyday Bro, which no, I guess PewDiePie even did like a challenge to get so many dislikes. Uh, but I'm trying to think because I know the funny thing is before I'm getting a little off track, but one of the most disliked video was uh, the Nintendo, not really direct, but the video about the expansion, the online expansion, the Nintendo Online. So this was probably way before that. Oh yeah, this article was updated in 2019, so a few years ago. But let me get yeah. So that's my conspiracy. Is that it's like somebody's like make a children video or stuff like that, but uh, they actually like buy likes, so it gets so popular, and all of a sudden that leads to merchandise, and that leads to like toys and T-shirts and TV shows. 'Cause I'm trying to think, did they ever make a cartoon of Baby Shark? Let me look that up real quick. Okay, yeah, doing some little research, like the Baby Shark's Big Show. I guess it was with Nickelodeon. Okay, it says it premiered in the United States 2020. Yeah, so yeah, it became a cartoon. This is years after the video. Because like I said, the article was published in 2019. But yeah, I think these companies will like buy like a shit ton of likes. They would just pour so much money into like, hey, get this video liked, so that way it goes viral. That way it gets a lot of attention. People see it, and it doesn't matter how many people dislike. Because I think it's even though it's one of the most disliked video on YouTube, um, it also has like I think it still has more likes and dislikes. Like according to that article from a few years ago, but it still has a shit ton of likes. And that's the thing with these kid videos is that I don't think kids are liking these videos or like it's probably like parents are like playing the video for them on the tablet or even on the YouTube TV app or stuff like that. But to like a video, you have to have a Google account. And I don't think these kids are going to have Google accounts, or I'm not sure if that's assigned into the parents. And I don't think the parents are like, I'm going to like this video for my kid, kind of thing. Um, so I'm guessing the dislikes are from like real people. Like I know some people kind of like spam dislikes and stuff like that, especially if annoying things go viral. I don't think there's a way to really buy dislikes. That could be a company idea, like buy dislikes. Um, but that thing can't prove it anymore. I'm trying to think because not very much has dislikes unless this company's like spam like negative comments and stuff like that. But basically, like it doesn't make sense for the video to have so many likes based on it being children content and all that. Because either like parents have to like for the kids' behalf, or kids will be logged in with the because kids won't have their own accounts, like especially what the target audience for. Because like I'm not about talking like kids that like almost tweens, almost teenagers, but like very young kids. From what I've seen, the Baby Shark, it seems like it's very for little kids. like maybe from like younger than 8 years old. So I don't see these kids having YouTube accounts, but yeah, it's just crazy. But that's what I think. Uh, okay, I found a funny meme and saying it's like the Simpsons meme where Homer Simpson like looks thin, but in the back he has like the clips and it says like before and after the disabled dislike. It said 10 billion and 12 billion dislikes. So I'm not sure if that's accurate. If it has 12, I'm not sure because I thought from I have to rewatch John Tron's video about like the dislike videos, but I thought Bioshock, even though it's one of the most disliked videos, it also has a huge amount of likes. And what if that's a thing like with other kids' videos? If companies just invest so much money to get so many likes and positive comments. Cause I think you can even do that too. Like you can buy positive comments too, and stuff like that. Because I think it was produced in South Korea, so I'm not sure that's one of the big things in terms of having things like Tran being idolized or whatever. Uh, but yeah, that's just my idea. Is that some companies may make like, these certain videos, but then they just where the videos good. I guess it's competent in terms of like video design for kids, a little cartoon animation. It's competent, kind of annoying, but they like invest so much money to get it viral by buying likes and all that. And then like, oh, now this is so popular, everyone's talking about it. Now it can become a TV show. It can get toys put out. It can be T-shirts and stuff like that. So that's my conspiracy: is that some of these really most viewed videos, especially the kid ones, are buying likes so they can, make other profits from it. And that's going to do it from my podcast. I'm not sure if I'm a little rusty or anything just getting back. Again, this was a hobby to anything else. And like I said, the best way to support me on the channel is to like, comment, and subscribe, whether it be here on YouTube, follow on Twitter for fun updates and other tweets. And put my all those links are also in the description about whatever. I have it out there, including Instagram. So the Instagram is kind of like my more like personal. It's like more kind of personal, but I don't mind it being out there, being more public versus like something private. Like my Facebook is my own private social media for me to enjoy. And then also on Twitch, where I stream gaming and getting back into that as well. But that will do it. So thanks for listening, and y'all have a great day.